The last bus of the night always smelled like old seats and quiet thoughts. It came at 11:47 p.m., never early, never late, as if it understood that the people who waited for it were already tired of waiting for many things in life. On this bus, there were no loud conversations, no ringing phones, no rush. Only the soft hum of the engine and the gentle shake of the road moving beneath worn tires. Daniel stepped onto the bus with slow feet. His shoulders were heavy, not just from the long day, but from the many days before it. He nodded briefly at the driver, paid his fare, and chose the same seat he always did, halfway down on the left, by the window. Outside, the city lights blurred into long yellow lines as the bus pulled away from the stop. Daniel worked late every night. Not because he loved his job, but because staying late meant he did not have to go home so soon. Home was quiet now. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your own thoughts sound loud and sharp. So he stayed late, rode the last bus, and told himself this routine was easier. The bus driver that night was an older man with silver hair and calm eyes. His name tag read Mr. Harris. He drove carefully, as if every turn mattered. Daniel had noticed him before, many times, but they had never spoken more than a polite hello. Tonight felt no different at first. Stop after stop passed. A young woman got off near the hospital. A man with a backpack left near the bridge. Soon, Daniel was the only passenger left. The bus felt larger and emptier, like a room after everyone has said goodbye. At a red light, Mr. Harris glanced into the mirror and spoke gently. "Long day?" Daniel hesitated. He was not used to answering that question honestly. Still, something in the driver's voice made it feel safe. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Long day." Mr. Harris nodded, as if he understood more than Daniel had said. "They add up," he replied. "Those long days." The bus moved again. The road ahead was dark, lined with closed shops and sleeping houses. Daniel watched his reflection in the window, faint and tired. He wondered when he had started looking so old. "I used to work nights too," Mr. Harris said after a moment. "Factory job. Loud, cold, hard on the hands." He smiled slightly. "I thought I'd do it for a year. Turned into 20. Daniel let out a small breath that almost sounded like a laugh. "Did you ever get used to it?" "No," Mr. Harris said. "But I learned how to listen. To myself. To others." The bus stopped at another red light, though there was no traffic. The silence between them was not uncomfortable. It felt shared. Daniel surprised himself by speaking again. "My wife used to wait up for me," he said. The words came out before he could stop them. No matter how late it was. She'd leave a light on. Mr. Harris did not turn around, but his voice softened. "Used to?" Daniel swallowed. "She passed away last year." "I'm sorry," Mr. Harris said simply. Daniel nodded, even though the driver could not see him. "After that, I started taking this bus. Every night. I guess, it feels like I'm still coming home to something." The bus rolled through another quiet street. In the mirror, Mr. Harris's eyes were kind and steady. "You know," he said, "I lost my son a long time ago. Car accident. He was younger than you." Daniel felt his chest tighten. "I didn't know." Most people didn't. Mr. Harris had learned that grief did not show itself unless invited. "Driving nights helped," the driver continued. "Gave me time to think. Time to remember. And sometimes, time to talk." They reached Daniel's stop. The familiar corner with the broken streetlight and the small bakery that would open in the morning. The bus slowed. Daniel stood up, feeling a strange reluctance to leave. "Thank you," he said. "For the ride. And, for listening." Mr. Harris smiled in the mirror. "Same time tomorrow," he said. Not as a question, but as a gentle promise. Daniel stepped off the bus. As it pulled away, he noticed something he had not seen in months. In his apartment window, a light was on. He realized he must have left it on before work. Still, he paused and looked at it, letting the warmth of that small glow settle inside him. Inside his apartment, Daniel did not turn the light off right away. He sat down, made a cup of tea, and allowed the quiet to be just quiet, not empty. The night felt less heavy now. The next evening, Daniel waited at the stop again. And the next. Some nights, he and Mr. Harris talked. Some nights, they didn't. Both felt equally important. The bus became more than a ride home. It became a place where the day ended gently. One night, months later, Daniel boarded the bus and saw a different driver. The seat behind the wheel was filled by a younger man with tired eyes. Daniel felt a small ache in his chest. "Where's Mr. Harris?" he asked. The driver glanced back. "Retired last week. Last run was Friday." Daniel nodded slowly and took his seat. The ride felt quieter than usual. When he got off at his stop, he stood for a moment, unsure why he felt such loss over someone he barely knew. At home, Daniel turned on the light by the window. He understood then what Mr. Harris had given him. Not answers. Not solutions. Just the reminder that even in long nights, connection can arrive quietly. From that night on, Daniel made sure to leave the light on. Not because someone was waiting, but because he was no longer afraid to come home.